He actually kind of looks like our bear with his little bow tie, doesn't he, DeWanda?
Yeah, he does. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about this.
Hi, I'm Kristen Maldonado from Pop Culture Planet. It's so great to meet you both. How are you?
I'm
Doing
good.
so
How
good.
are you?
I'm good. I gotta say, I brought my own teddy bear that I've had since I was a kid with me, to join in this interview because you made them scary, but I want to believe that he's still safe.
He's still innocent.
He's still innocent. He actually kind of looks like our bear with his little bow tie, doesn't he, DeWanda?
Yeah, he does. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about this. I'm sorry if you've seen the movie.
I have. And well, I want to ask if either of you like grew up with a stuffed animal or a blanket or an imaginary friend that, kind of connected you with this character.
I grew up with Teddy Ruxpin, but I also had Kid Sister, which was a really creepy, very, 90s animatronic doll. That was everywhere and had like a trillion commercials.
I still, to this day, have a stuffed cat that is not. It is not a stuffed animal. It is a purse.
So she could go everywhere with you.
Yes, she does, and I actually forgot her on this trip, sadly. So,
No.
That is sad. I'm
but it's
disappointed.
and I bring her with me everywhere I go.
The
Oh,
purse could have met my dog.
for both of you, this is your first horror films. So was there anything about being on a horror movie set that just like surprised you?
The special effects, I think, was the difference between any job because they had to do so many different things, like the door closing on its own, for
Yeah.
instance.
People don't realize that working on a horror movie set, like I was really prepared. I was super spiritually prepared and very ready to be like, okay, it's a lot on the nervous system. I got to take care of myself. I didn't expect to laugh so much. I didn't expect for so many things to be absolutely hilarious. Like I was actually fine until we were shooting in the Never Ever and they brought a dog on set. That dog just, I don't know if you remember that scene, but I'm not kidding you. I could not keep it together. That dog made me laugh so much. And it was the moment where Jeff turns to us and he was like, "Is this camp?" And I was like, "You have Betty Buckley delivering a monologue when a dog runs across. Yes, this is camp, Jeff. We're giving."
We're giving camp. We're giving camp. I love it. Oh, and you mentioned the Never Ever. That set, there was something about it when you guys first went in there that reminded me of the film Labyrinth, with like the stairs and everything. That was so cool. What was it like going into like a practical set like that?
We got lost a lot. There's 46 doors on that set. I started a game that was called like where to, like literally you just open a door and you're just like, I don't know if this is going to lead me to the craft services table or makeup, but we're just going to open the door and find out and see as we go. It was amazing.
I never walked on that set until the last day of
That's
filming.
right. Yeah,
I
that's
did get to walk through it a couple times because we got to see it being built.
yeah.
So that was really exciting.
Right, you're in that creepy room, the creepy birthday room.
Yes, I was in the creepy birthday room. A lot happens in that room.
Oh, absolutely. Actually, DeWanda, I wanted to ask you, like, what that one scene when you're like kind of getting suctioned into the floor. What was that like filming something like that? That looked really cool.
I had way too much fun. That was one of the moments in, you're making a horror movie where you're like, I am scared, I am terrified. I am not just playing on the stage that is like sinking and fulfilling my childhood dream of what it would be like to fall through quicksand because we all thought that there would be a lot more quicksand in our adulthoods. Um, so yeah, it was a lot of fun. And Jeff actually was the one who gave me that. There's a moment where Jessica's like, she tries to move
Hmm.
and Jeff was like, "Oh, we need to know that there's like this suction quality." So as a nerdy, actor, acting that out physically, like the kind of like what was required, it reminded me of like clowning. You know what I mean?
Oh, that is awesome. And now, Piper, I wanted to ask you because I heard you got to take home a mock-up of Chauncey. Is he hanging out with your cat purse? Like, what is he do? Is he causing trouble at home? Like, are you okay?
That mock-up Chauncey, I call him Fonzie for fake Chauncey. And I actually hid the bear around set with my wardrobe person, CJ.
Oh
You
my.
guys would sometimes find him in the elevator, in my seat.
She's given the PG-13 version of this game. This game was terrifying. Like legit, I was just like, cause if you can imagine, come to work super early in the morning, like super early, okay? Like the sleep is still, makeup has not wiped the sleep from your eyes. You have not had your cup of coffee, and you get on an elevator, and there's like a bear there with like a note stuck to him, and you're working on a horror movie. Like this game was This game between Pyper and CJ was terrifying. It really escalated over the course
It
of
really
filming.
escalated. It started with
Really.
one note, and then it was just like, okay, we're writing notes now.
I love that. I want to see now like a Chauncey and Fonzie team up in
Oh,
part 2.
oh
Good.
my gosh.
The
That
two
would
of them.
it's like Chauncey's cousin, I like to call him, because he's like, he looks like Chauncey, just like a couple grades down.
That's hilarious. Yep.
Blumhouse has so many iconic horror villains. If you were to have Jessica and Alice kind of show up in another horror film, battle another horror villain, like who could you see them going up against together?
I don't watch horror movies, so this one's for DeWanda.
Yeah, it's a good one. That's true. Okay. Listen, I know Pyper reads as a college professor, but she is still 10 years old and was 9 at the time of filming. Funny enough, a lot of they were producers on this, but when I first read the story, there's something about the Never Ever that was also giving Sunken Place.
Hmm?
So I would actually, it's not like villain centric, but I would actually be so curious about the compilation of those two like concepts and worlds, just because both of them feel like there was a limitlessness, right, to both of the spaces. And our phenomenal set designer Megan Rogers was so brilliant in trying to make the Never Ever feel as like expansive and like you will be stuck here, like you will not leave as possible.
This year also marks 5 years since Someone Great, and I loved that movie. I know you guys made Lizzo's Truth Hurts like
We
go
did.
crazy. Like you made that
We
song
did.
really popular, hit #1. What is it like looking back on that now, like 5 years later?
Thank you for that's a beautiful question. That movie actually really set the tone. You know, I wasn't a producer on that. Gina, the homie, was an executive producer on that film, and we had such a great time. Like we had such a great time that we were just kind of like, well, I hope other people like the movie because I enjoyed making it. So it's kind of inconsequential. And that is the same energy and the same spirit that I brought as an executive producer to this project. You know
I
what I
love
mean? I was
I
just
love
like, it
the
could just be fun. We can just have a good time. And I really think it shows up on screen. You know, I obviously love a girl trio, you
Mhm.
know, so between between me and Pyper and Tegan, you know, that what you see on screen is, you know, it's very real. And that's something that I carried over from Someone Great.
And the three of you guys together, you guys are, I love the way that you also kind of break the stereotypes on the relationships between stepdaughters and stepmothers.
I never realized how evil it was always like, you know, it's always like Cinderella's stepmom.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
someone else pointed that out to me and I was like, look at us. Didn't even try for that one.
I want to thank you guys so much for your time. People might be watching their bears a little closer now. Got eyes on him. And congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for taking the
you.
time today.
Consider subscribing if you like my videos, and if you want to talk more TV and movies with me outside of the comments section, check out my Patreon at patreon.com/kmaldo. If you like this one, you can check out more of my videos right over here. See ya!